And thank you, Brother Steve. Again, I missed you all last week, but I trust that you were able to tune in and stay up to speed on where we are at in our study through the book of Daniel. And, of course, today we come to Daniel chapter 6, coming, as Brother Steve said, to one of the most well-known and indeed most beloved stories in all of Scripture, and that's Daniel in the lion's den. And that story is probably in almost every single Sunday school material that's out there. It's probably in every single children's Bible. And then also, it's one of these passages that should be very familiar because pastors and preachers, they preach from this story all the time. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why this story is included in all of those places. And it's because this story is beloved. And it's so beloved because it gives us a lot of hope amidst very, very dire and deathly circumstances. It helps us to be inspired to be able to put our trust in the living God of the universe, even when things get hard. And so Daniel's example of courage, his example of boldness, his example of that trust in his God, no matter what, again, is something that every single one of us as Christians everywhere needs to look to as an example. Oftentimes when preachers preach through this text, they'll preach through it with the title, Dare to be like Daniel. Because Daniel had that kind of boldness, that kind of courage, that kind of trust in the Lord, and indeed that's a great sermon. That's a great application of this text. But while all that might be true, and again, I do want us to walk away once again inspired by that truth of Daniel, by the courage of Daniel. But more than this today, I want us to see who this text, this very familiar text, ultimately points to.